Hi friends, good evening. Welcome to Shankaran AI Study Circle. This is Dr. Harinath Reddy, Director of the Institute. Today in this particular video, we will try to discuss the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission other than those related to local body grants and disaster management grants. Because with respect to the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission in relation to disaster management grants, we have made a separate video. Similarly, with respect to the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission with respect to the local body grants, we had made yet another video. So, we will be discussing all the recommendations of 15th Finance Commission other than those relating to disaster management and local body grants. So, let us take up the most important recommendations of 15th Finance Commission. See, here like never before, health sector was given lot of focus in the report of the 15th Finance Commission. Probably the reason could be the pandemic situation which has prevailed in the country. In the last more than 7 decades, health and education were never given the priority they deserve. The governments at the national level as well as at the state level have not given highest priority to health and education. So, they were not given the priority which they have required. Probably because of the pandemic situation which has prevailed in the country, for the first time, a Finance Commission of India has given very high focus to the healthcare sector in this country. That is the reason why a number of recommendations made by the 15th Finance Commission of India, they relate to strengthening the healthcare sector in this country. Anyhow, we will discuss that in course of time. Let us get started. See the first recommendation. The first recommendation regarding the vertical share of the states. If you remember, the 14th Finance Commission headed by Y.V. Reddy has recommended 42% share to the states in the central government net tax revenues, but the 15th Finance Commission has recommended only 41%. So, a reduction of 1%. The reason being, earlier we had 29 states, now we had only 28 states. Jammu and Kashmir was for Jammu and Kashmir, statehood is taken away. Jammu and Kashmir is no more a state, it has become a union territory. So, the percentage share of funds which were once allocated to Jammu and Kashmir were taken away from the list, from that 42%, and it means the status quo continues. So, the 15th Finance Commission has recommended a 41% share in the divisible pool in the central government net tax revenues, to the states. And then when it comes to horizontal devolution, how this 41% shall be distributed among the states, there is a criteria that I have discussed in a separate video relating to the interim report. I told 15th Finance Commission has given 2 reports. One is interim report for the financial year 2020-21 and the second one is full report for the next 5 years 2021-22 to 25-26. So, the criteria which the 15th Finance Commission has recommended in the interim report is being continued even in the final report. So, what is that criteria? I have discussed it in a separate video that you can listen to in course of time. So, for horizontal devolution, the criteria which is recommended in the interim report will prevail even in the final report. In addition to this, as most of the students know, unlike the recommendations made by the earlier Finance Commissions of India, the 15th Finance Commission has taken up 2011 census the population of 2011 census as the criteria for horizontal devolution. This will adversely impact the states which took measures for controlling population. So, to compensate those states which have done well in controlling population, for them in the criteria for horizontal devolution, there was one criteria which was newly included. This criteria is called demographic performance criteria. Demographic performance criteria. This was given a weightage of 12.5%. Demographic performance criteria means those states which have done well with respect to bringing down the fertility rates and thereby reducing the population growth, they were given some advantage by including in the horizontal devolution one criteria, demographic performance criteria, and this is given a weightage of 12.5%. This is again very important. This was a new criterion which was added by the 15th Finance Commission for horizontal devolution, along with taking the population of 2011 census as the criteria. In addition to this, as I told, healthcare sector was given the highest priority in the report of the 15th Finance Commission. If you see here, in the budgets of the states, health spending by states should be increased to more than 8% of their budget by 2022. So, out of the total budgetary allocations made in each state, 8% shall be for healthcare sector. Out of the total budgetary allocations made in every state budget, 8% shall be for healthcare sector, and this must be achieved by 2022. In this, 2/3 shall be on primary healthcare. So, if the total budget for healthcare is say 100 rupees, 66 rupees shall be spent for primary healthcare sector. That is one more important recommendation. See here, primary healthcare should be the number one fundamental commitment of each and every state, and that primary health expenditure should be increased to 2/3 of the total health expenditure by 2022. In addition to this, 15th Finance Commission has also recommended as percentage of GDP, the spending on healthcare sector, the public spending. What do you mean by public spending? The expenditure made by government. So, the expenditure made by the government as percentage of GDP on healthcare must be increased to 2.5% by the year 2025. 2.5% by the year 2025. So, the total expenditure made by the government on a healthcare sector as percentage of GDP, as percentage of national income must be increased to 2.5% by the year 2025. That is one important recommendation. Then in addition to this, there are a number of schemes which are designed by the union government on the subjects in the state list as well as in the concurrent list, but implemented through the state government. These are called as centrally sponsored schemes. Centrally sponsored schemes are those schemes which are designed by the union government on the subjects in the state list as well as in the concurrent list, but implemented through the state governments. So, one important problem with centrally sponsored schemes is the funds which are made available under the centrally sponsored schemes by the center to the states, there is not enough flexibility for the states to use this money. That is the reason why there was a recommendation. Centrally sponsored schemes should be flexible enough to allow the states to adapt and innovate. Then in addition to this, so far the focus when it comes to the healthcare sector is in inputs, what money is spent, how many buildings are constructed. But 15th Finance Commission says we need to shift from the focus on inputs to outcomes. Because of the healthcare inputs, what is the outcome, what is the decrease in infant mortality rate, what is the decrease in maternal mortality rate, what is the decrease in child mortality rate, what is the decrease in fertility rate. So we need to see the performance in terms of healthcare indicators. What does that mean? We need to focus on outcomes rather than inputs. That's one important recommendation. In addition to this, if you take India, we have more number of medical colleges in South India and Western India. On an average, for every 10 lakh population, there is one medical college. But states in North India like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, for 1 crore population, there is one medical college. So the healthcare infrastructure in North India, Eastern India, Northeast India is very low. And keeping that in mind, not only infrastructure, even the availability of the doctors. See the recommendation. Given the interstate disparity in the availability of medical doctors, it is essential to constitute an All India Medical and Health Service as is envisaged under Section 2A of the All India Services Act 1951. In other words, because of the shortage of medical doctors in certain pockets of the country like North India, Northeast India, Eastern India, 15th Finance Commission has recommended the establishment of a new All India service called All India Medical and Health Service. Before this, we had TSR Subramanian Committee to review the environmental laws in this country. It has recommended a new All India service called All India Environmental Service. And then TSR Subramanian Committee on Education Policy, on National Education Policy, has recommended another All India service, All India Education Service, All India Education Service. And the 15th Finance Commission has recommended a new All India Medical and Healthcare Service under the provisions of All India Services Act 1951. In addition to this, as I told you just now, the distribution of medical colleges is asymmetrical in India. States in South India, Western India, they are better served with more number of medical colleges. Recently in the state of Andhra Pradesh, the government has planned for constructing 16 medical colleges at the same time simultaneously. So southern states, western states, they do have good number of medical colleges, but this is not true about North India, Northeast India and Eastern India. This needs to be corrected. That's what the 15th Finance Commission said. The asymmetric distribution of medical colleges needs to be corrected as most of them are located in the western and the southern parts of India. Then in addition to this, as I told you, in the 15th Finance Commission, lot of priority is given to the healthcare sector, and this is reflected in terms of the grants which are given to the healthcare sector. The total number, the total quantum of grants which are given to the healthcare sector, it is 1,06,606 crores. Remember, for all the urban local bodies, the total grant which is allotted is 1,21,000 crores for all the urban local bodies. But here, for just one sector, healthcare sector, the total grant recommended is 1,06,600 crores. This is about 10.3% of the total grants recommended by the 15th Finance Commission. The grants which were allotted to the healthcare sector forms about 10.3% of the total grants recommended for different sectors. And in terms of GDP, it is 0.1%. And one more important feature of the grants which are recommended to the healthcare sector is they are unconditional. The reason why they are made unconditional is to give flexibility to the states to improve the healthcare infrastructure in the areas where there are gaps. So the grants which are given to the healthcare sector by the 15th Finance Commission, they are not conditional, they are unconditional grants. That's a very important point. Then, and the total revenue deficit grants which were recommended to the states which continue to have revenue deficit, it amounts to 2,94,514 crores. The total revenue deficit grants recommended by the 15th Finance Commission for 17 states. For 17 states, revenue deficit grants were recommended for a period of 5 years from 2021-22 to 25-26, and this money is 2,94,514 crores. Then in addition to this, for incentivizing the states, to encourage the states to improve the educational outcomes, again grants were given to the extent of 4,800 crores. 4,800 crores is the grant given to the states to encourage them to improve educational outcomes, and these grants will be given for the period from 2022-23 to 25-26, for a 4-year period, not 5 years. In addition to this, to encourage the states to implement agricultural reforms, again 45,000 crores is allocated. 15th Finance Commission recommended giving 15th Finance Commission has recommended 45,000 crores for encouraging the states to take up agricultural reforms, and this money will be given to the states on the basis of their performance with respect to agricultural reforms. Then in addition to this, for maintaining Pradhana Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana roads for the period 2021-26, that is for a 5-year period, for the maintenance of Pradhana Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana roads, 27,539 crores is the grant which is recommended. The total money which is recommended for the maintenance of Pradhana Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana roads is 27,539 crores, and this is for a period of 5 years between 2021-22 to 25-26, out of which 14,743 crores. 14,743 crores, this is for general category states. 12,796 crores, it is for northeast and hilly states. In addition to this, with respect to the borrowing limits, how much a particular state government can borrow, it is decided and recommended by the 15th Finance Commission in the following manner. It has recommended that in 2021-22, that is the current financial year, the states can borrow at the rate of 4% of GSDP. The borrowing limit of every state government for the financial year 21-22 is 4% of GDP. And then 2022-23, it will be 3.5%, and for the remaining years 23-24, 25-26, and for the remaining years 2023, 24, 25, 26, it is 3%. It is 3%. So this is the limit prescribed by the 15th Finance Commission with respect to the borrowing limits of the state governments. But an additional borrowing space of 0.5% of GDP, an additional borrowing space of 0.5% of GDP is given in the first 4 years of the award period. If there is a good performance with respect to the power sector, if any particular state government has done better in terms of implementing power sector reforms, these states will have an additional borrowing capacity of 0.5% for the first 4 years in the award period. This is again very important. Then in addition to this, these are the important recommendations. These are the important recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission with respect to all the areas other than disaster management and local body grants. Why other than disaster management and local body grants? Because with respect to local body grants, we made a separate video. With respect to disaster management grants, we made a separate video. And the remaining we have discussed in this video. Please do remember, this is the latest Finance Commission and its recommendations will be valid till 2025-26. So, the recommendation, as this report was given very recently, questions are not yet asked in any exam in the mains. So, questions are bound to come both in the prelims as well as in the mains exam on the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission. There can be a comparison between the 15th and 14th, or there can be a straight question on the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission. So that's it. Thank you.